2020 was a pivotal year, but besides the fact that we were all locked indoors during this terrible time, there was also another consequence: the increased content creation online, specifically the rise of skincare content creators. I don't know about you, but the way I felt watching this was that I could literally have a basic skincare routine and my skin would be cleared of all acne, all imperfections. My skin would be spotless. And I went ahead and I was influenced. I bought a bunch of stuff when I had free time and I tried and maintained a pretty simple routine. But that never did clear my worst acne. I was left in this terrible condition of dissatisfaction, wondering why these products weren't clearing my acne or doing anything to help my skin. And the reason that it didn't work, for you and for me, is because we've been lied to. Specifically, the only way to clear your skin that worked for me was seeing a dermatologist. None of the moisturizers, cleansers, or sunscreens in the world will ever help you achieve clear skin if you don't have good skin to already begin with. The only way I found to actually get rid of acne was with prescription products. What's up, kiddos? It's Michael and welcome back to my channel. And the one thing I didn't know about acne growing up, despite being super into bio now, is that acne is literally a bacterial infection. By no means was my acne terrible in the past, but it did have some notable effect on my appearance, which I wanted to get rid of course. And again, there is nothing wrong with having a skincare routine. In fact, I still support having a basic skincare routine to this day. And it's a problem when we are led to believe by people who are getting us to buy a vast array of products that these basic skincare routines are going to help clear the majority of our terrible acne or bacterial infections, when that will never be the case. And with the marketing of a skincare routine, there were two major issues that seem to have infected the community from my perspective. One is the ideology that having a simple skincare routine would clear terrible acne, which it usually does not. And second is the belief that having a very complicated 8-step skincare routine with a bunch of different expensive products from expensive brands would be the solution to the acne that I had to deal with. Again, I never really fell down this path to the extent as much as other people online did, but there are multiple examples of people online showcasing their 8-step skincare routine with a bunch of random products and showcasing this as the way to keep your skin healthy. In fact, the use of so many chemicals can often lead to more harm than good, especially with the use of chemical exfoliators and even physical exfoliators to try to get rid of the negative blemishes on the skin, likely leading to more scarring and damage than any good that has ever been done. So why did a dermatologist save my skin? In one sentence, dermatologists are able to prescribe stronger medications that are more effectively able to get rid of acne or target it directly that simple over-the-counter products usually cannot do. I was prescribed an oral antibiotic that I took for about half a year daily. That was a tetracycline, and it literally changed my skin. It made everything spotless. And in case where I had acne popping up on different parts of my face and pimples popping up on different parts of my face, there would be a spotless face and it would be completely clear skin. Again, because the antibiotic was killing all the bacteria and not allowing an environment for them to grow. This also led to a huge purging phase about a month or two in. So for the first half of this treatment, I was looking over the summer like a tomato, but it did help in the long run, and I no longer feel cystic acne under my skin or acne that's in a deeper layer of my skin that's very hard to treat with products that aren't antibiotics. Now, if I came into the dermatologist with worse acne, a lot of the times dermatologists tend to prescribe acutane, which has a slew of side effects, but it is generally effective in what its purpose is, and that is getting rid of acne. So if the acne that I had was very, very bad and very, very visible, then Accutane is usually a solution that many dermatologists turn to. And although it does tend to be effective, there do tend to be major side effects such as skin drying, along with a list of others. So that in itself is often the best way that people have found to get rid of acne. And believing that a simple skincare routine of a cleanser, an exfoliator, a sunscreen, and a moisturizer is going to do that for me was a completely delusional stance that I have that I do not want other people to have. Hi, this is Michael in the future, and after discussing this topic of Accutane treatment with my friends and people who have gone through Accutane treatment, I found it important to make a disclaimer that it is important to research heavily other options to take before Accutane is used as a solution, because Accutane can really have some negative side effects, whether it be drying your skin or just making your appearance look very different and worse than it was, and because of the things that it does to your skin and the acne. So there are different treatments that people do before Accutane. There's different levels of Accutane concentration or treatment that can be done. A lot of the times people use a benzoyl peroxide solution such as Epiduo before they go into treatments such as Accutane, and sometimes that helps and gets rid of everything before they ever have to go into that sort of treatment. But again, it's important to meet with a dermatologist, but also approach dermatologists who go to a very significant treatment with some level of skepticism. Again, it's important to listen to a medical professional, but on the other hand, it's important to understand that this is your own body being affected by these medications, and taking something as strict as Accutane, which I never had to take, will negatively affect your life for at least a few months, if not around half a year to a year. So I had to go on antibiotics. The antibiotics did not have many negative side effects that I could think of. It only cleared my skin and did something great for me. So if you do go on antibiotics, I would recommend them if you have mild acne or some mild cystic acne. But again, Epiduo could be a potential option before Accutane, and if your acne is really developing to a worse prognosis, then perhaps Accutane is the only treatment option left, and that is what you're going to have to do. But it will have negative side effects, and I don't want to encourage using that without adding that disclaimer. So back to the regular video. Now, my experience was that after I stopped this cycle of antibiotics, which again, it can't go on forever because bacteria develop a resistance to antibiotics, some of the pimples that I had came back. Although my acne has never been as worse than it was before the cycle, I do still tend to have pimples popping up, because again, I am still in an age where hormones haven't stabilized as they would for a 40-year-old individual. It is also important to note that when you see people who influence people with skincare products, a lot of the time, especially on platforms such as TikTok and Instagram, there are easy filters to make the skin look spotless, and people can advertise their beauty or their spotless skin because of whatever product they use, when in reality their skin isn't as spotless in real life as it may appear online. Again, everything is all an illusion. For example, if bodybuilders posting pictures of themselves online, they use immaculate lighting, they may not have eaten or eaten something specific to make their muscles pop, and they go in specific poses to make their muscles look as big as possible, or they may have just worked out as well. It is somewhat similar in the case of people advertising their skin and trying to sell you a product. Again, I'm not trying to sell anything, but the people who are trying to sell you something in their videos, whatever it may be, whether it be their own product or somebody who sponsored them, will likely use a filter to showcase their skin as spotless, when in some cases they may have a single pimple or multiple pimples on their face. So it is important, again, and I understand as I'm saying all of this, my skin is not perfectly spotless, but that is not the case for most people, because in reality, the skin is not a perfect canvas which we can completely clear. With over-the-counter products, the lesson that I learned is that it's not going to fix my skin. It's not going to destroy the acne that I had to deal with, especially the acne that was more persistent. But what it can do is become a part of a normal skincare routine that helps to keep my skin healthy. So what I do now is I incorporate those over-the-counter products that are simple with prescription products that I've been prescribed for conditions that my dermatologist has recommended that I treat. Common conditions like rosacea are treated with, for example, something like azelaic acid, which is something that people can apply every morning. And in general, everybody should incorporate simple things into their routine, such as a cleanser to cleanse their skin of all the oils and particulates that may have built up over the day, along with a moisturizer if the skin gets dry, and a sunscreen to be applied in the morning and reapplied if you're actively in a very sunny environment and you're outside for extended periods of time. Again, having gone through this, I do wake up with some sort of pimple once in a while, but again, this isn't something that should be a major breakout. After a general Accutane or antibiotic treatment, the point is that these outbreaks are a pimple and not something major that occur across one portion of the face or occur with multiple pimples over one night. If that is the case, then perhaps another appointment should be scheduled, or that treatment may not have been effective as initially perceived to be. And in general, when looking at people online, and specifically any sort of content creator or influencer, it's more to understand things with a skeptical eye. So if you're looking at somebody who's trying to sell you a product, ask yourself, what is the purpose of the video, and what are they trying to tell me with this video? Are they trying to sell me something? And after asking those questions, then think to yourself, am I going to actively buy this because I think it's a good product for me, or do I simply want to buy it because they're tricking me into thinking that that is the product that cleared their skin for good, which it probably didn't. Now, to end this video, I'm going to go through my routine that I do every morning and night, just to show an example of what I think a balanced routine is that isn't too crazy, that incorporates both over-the-counter products and prescription products for my specific dermatological needs. In the morning, I use azelaic acid, which is a treatment for rosacea. It keeps the skin from looking super red. And after I do that, I put on a sunscreen, one on my face and around my neck as well. In particular, I bought this Korean sunscreen recently on the screen that appears to make my skin look better than it did with a basic American sunscreen, so I feel like I'm going to stick with that. And at night, I use a cleanser known as sodium sulfosetamide, which is a prescription grade cleanser prescribed to me by my dermatologist. After that, I put on retinol, which is another prescription treatment, which is generally used on a more regular basis, starting by those around the age of 20. And after I put on retinol, I put on a moisturizer because the cleanser tends to dry my skin. And then I go to bed. So it's a pretty simple routine. It takes longer than the pace I described it at here, but it is manageable. It is relatively easy to keep up. And with that, I've been satisfied with how my skin looks. And I hope that this has provided some guidance as to what a balanced skincare routine could look like with guidance from a dermatologist. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you found the video helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.